together.
We're supposed to say it when you say it?
Yep, when I point to it, okay? All right. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. We had some technical difficulties, and I just want to apologize. We had some issues with our internet and stuff like that, but we here. Sorry we late. We're going to get into this lesson today. We're still dealing with the Split Kingdom series. Still talking about King Ahab. He got a longer story, unusually longer than the other kings. So we're going to talk about the Ten Commandments first and then go into King Ahab and Elijah. Okay? First, let's talk about these commandments. I guess let me straighten this up. All right. Okay. So, first commandment is this here. What does it say?
You should have no other gods before me.
You should have no other gods before me. What can be considered another god?
Money.
Money. What else?
I was gonna say money too, but like video games.
Video games. What you
Cars.
got?
Clothes.
Clothes, right? Why would those be considered gods though? Because all of what y'all said is right. Well, why would they be considered gods?
Because you probably use them too much, and you think about them more than the Most High.
That's the reason. Because you think about them more than the Most High. What you got, Jaden?
You can probably bow down to them.
Right? So worshiping them more than the Most High, in other words, right? Right? So, yep. So you shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol. Okay, you shall not make for yourself an idol. What can be, now this is dealing with idolatry too, but this is what is it specifically dealing with?
Making an idol for yourself.
Right. Yeah.
I forgot what I was about to say.
That's all right. So it's making an idol for yourself. Like a Buddha statue or anything that you carve with hands and bow down to.
Like, when you like play the video game and you say, I love it more than the Most High.
Yeah, that's putting your effort into, But this more talking about carving something with hands, all right? This one here, but yeah, you're right though. You shall not misuse the name of Yahuwah your Elohim. How can you misuse the Most High's name?
By you telling them on the news, your friend tell you about the news about you, and it's not true, but you think he lying, but he said about he said on the Most High he misused it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What else? Who else?
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything. What you got, Jaden?
He's saying, swear to the Most High.
Say that again.
Swear to the Most High.
Not just swearing. See, it's more about how can we misuse the Most High's name? Okay, so like you can make a vow in his name and not uphold it, right? Or how about you can misuse his name by falsely swearing in his name. So saying something is true when it's not. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you misuse his name. But having a vow and not upholding it, having the children of Israel misuse the Most High's name by, accepting the covenant and then sinning. So now they're giving him a bad name because of how they was worshiping other gods and breaking all his laws. Okay? All right? Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. What are we supposed to do on the Sabbath? Go ahead.
Read the Bible.
Right.
Come every day.
Yeah, come to Sabbath class. Yeah, not every day. Well,
Pray.
not every day, but to Sabbath class. So we're supposed to congregate. What else? Read the Bible. What else? What you got?
Watch VeggieTales.
We can watch VeggieTales. What about you? Yeah, you. You say that again? Pray and sleep. Yeah, you can pray and sleep. Sure. So those are some of the things we can do on the Sabbath. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you. Yeah, you.
We're talking back to them, not doing what they say, and calling them out their name.
It's definitely a way to dishonor them, yes. What else? How else can we dishonor our parents?
By not liking them.
Saying you hate them.
Of course. Yeah, of course. So how can we honor them then?
How honor them?
How can you honor them? Yeah.
By doing what they say, not calling them out their name.
Yeah. How can we honor our parents?
Giving them gifts.
You can give them gifts.
Say I love you.
Yeah.
Show them that you love them.
Sure. How about keeping them with a good name?
Yeah.
Remember that? You can keep them with a good name. How can we keep them with a good name?
Call them. I don't really know.
You can keep them with a good name by being on your best behavior. Can we? Hey, can we keep it down? Please keep it down. We can be on our best behavior in public, right? So when you go out in public, be on your best behavior, and that's a good representation of your parents. All right. You shall not murder. You shall not murder. What is murder?
Murder means that you murder someone for you when someone talk bad about you and you're going to think about it and you decide to get your weapon and you decide to kill them.
Yeah.
That's murder.
It's murder. What else?
Killing a person without a purpose.
Without a purpose. Yeah. Killing somebody without a purpose, right? What if somebody attacked me and I kill them? That's defense, right? That's
Yes.
self-defense. I gave it away. But yeah, that's self-defense. So if somebody attacked me and I defend myself and they die in the process, that is murder. Yeah. I mean, no, that is self-defense. I'm sorry. That's self-defense. All right. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not commit adultery.
If you have like a wife and you're cheating for her with another woman.
It's a slight difference. It's a difference between what's adultery for a man. Maybe I should say it like that. You, BJ.
Divorcing your wife for no reason
And getting another.
wife.
Absolutely. Divorcing your wife. Or for a man, how about, a man being with, having a relation with another man's wife because that woman belongs to that man. Okay? So that is also adultery. What about for a woman? What is adultery?
Adultery for a woman is when a woman sneaks out their marriage and goes sleep with another man.
Yeah.
That committed adultery.
That is committing adultery for a woman. Right? All right. You should not steal. You shall not steal. Is it all right for this woman to steal if she's poor?
No,
No. Why?
because that's against the law, and you was my age, you could just ask.
And there's no exception, right? What y'all got?
You can pray to Yah. You can ask him to bless you with something to eat.
Okay. What about you? Jaden?
So,
Oh, Jake.
some stuff and so,
Find something and sell it. He said.
Say that again.
find something and sell it.
Say that one more
He
time.
said, find something and sell it.
Oh, find something and sell it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, I guess you could do that instead of stealing, yeah. You can do that instead of stealing. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. What does the word neighbor mean? No, not. Say it again. Family. All right. So what you have here is you have a man that owns a house. It appears that this man here is hit a ball through this window and is lying on his friend, right? So giving a false testimony. Now, when we talk in terms of the Bible, when we talk in terms of the Bible, the word neighbor means family. So it's not necessarily talking about your next door neighbor, but it could be that. But that's not what it means. It's talking more about family. All right. And in this case, I guess, if you want to, let's pretend like they're family, then you can say that he's lying on his brother. That word neighbor was more in close relation to family. So just imagine you lying on your sibling, and then because of the sin because of what they done or what you claim that they did, they get put to death because of the way the laws of Israel were at that time and how strict they were. All right. If somebody got caught bearing false witness, they would get put to death. They will usually get put to death. And the last one is you shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. What does covet mean?
If they have a car, a lot of money, and you don't have that stuff, or a house, or something cool that they have, you might want it. You might want to take it from them.
Yep. You start coming up with these ideas on how to take it from them. All right. So covet means what though?
To lust after someone's possession.
To lust after somebody's possession. Yep. Good job. All right. So we're still dealing with the Split Kingdom series. Anybody need a Bible? We're gonna go through it real quick. Here, you got some.
Can you put a page for me?
Yep. Sir. Here's a Bible here too. Going to 1 Kings. First Kings 17 and 1. So we're going to 1 Kings 17 and 1. We have 1 Kings 17 and 1. All right, so we talking now. Who remember what we talked about? Who is King AHAB from last week? He was a Northern Kingdom king. Who did he marry?
Jezebel.
He married Jezebel. Who is Jezebel?
When I was about to say, I was going to say the same thing as PJ.
Okay. What? Oh, okay. Who is Jezebel? She was, you know, Jezebel. She wasn't from Samaria. She wasn't even an Israelite.
No, she wasn't an Israelite. She was somewhere else.
Yeah, she was a Zidonian. She was Zidonian. So Jezebel was a Zidonian. She was and so Ahab married a woman of another nation that worshipped another god. All right, she worshipped Baal. All right, so that's another god. And Ahab started to follow this other god, this which caused him to be in disfavor, you know, with the Most High. Like the Most High was not pleased with him. Okay, so we're gonna read. Now that he's in this bad space with the Most High, who knows who Elijah is? Who is Elijah?
I never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Any of y'all know who Elijah is? Elijah is a prophet, right? He was a prophet in the northern kingdom during the time of Ahab.
What's this fight? Because I see his name and it says something about.
That's just the that's like the tribe or his forefather. So that's just that's who they're talking about.
You said she was a Sidonian?
Yeah, Jezebel.
And was her dad a key person?
Say that again.
Who was her dad?
Her dad was I think his name was Ethbaal. That was King Ethbaal. Yeah, Ethbaal. He was a king of the Zidonians. Yeah, Ethbaal was.
Worship Baal?
Say that again.
They worship Baal.
They worship Baal. Yeah. They worship Baal. All right, so we're gonna pick up at 1 Kings 17 and 1. So Elijah is a prophet of the Most High, and now that the Most High is displeased with him, the Most High is sending Elijah to warn him of his behavior. And you're going to see this because Ahab's story is kind of long, so you're going to see Elijah on different occasions to go and try to correct, make an effort to correct Ahab and to put him back on the right path, to follow the Most High, right? This 1 Kings 17 and verse 1. And Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, as Yahuwah Elohim of Israel lives, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. So the Most High was going to take away the rain from northern Israel because they were sinning. They were sinning. All right. So the Most High was going to stop the rain for a time. In the middle of verse 1, it says, as Yahuwah Elohim of Israel lives, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. And the word of Yahuwah came unto him, saying, get thee hence and turn thee eastward and hide thyself by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. So because there is no rain, all right, so the northern kingdom is sinning, and because there's no rain, the Most High is he's telling Elijah, like, I'm going to feed you. You're the only one that's right. You're the one that's righteous. I'm going to feed you, get you over here by this brook, and the ravens is going to feed you.
Are we on verse 5?
No, not on verse 5. We on verse 2.
Oh.
Verse 4. We on verse 4. Sorry about that. Verse 4. Yeah. But yeah, so the Most High is going to feed Elijah because the Most High is punishing the northern kingdom. All right, verse 5. So he went and did according unto the word of Yahuwah, for he went and dwelt by the brook of Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. And it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up, because there had been no rain in the land. And the word of Yahuwah came unto him, saying, arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongs to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman to sustain thee. So just to show you, I'm reading that to show you that Elijah would be taken care of because of his righteousness. All right? So let me see something. Let's skip down to where he interacted with Ahab.
Where are we at?
Here, hold on. All right, so go to go to 1 Kings 8 and verse 17. 1 Kings 8 and verse 17. So we know Elijah is the prophet of the northern kingdom, and the Most High is taking care of him. So now we're going to show how he interacts with Ahab. 1 Kings 8 and verse 17.
I don't got it.
Here. Let me go. I'm sorry. 1 Kings 18 and verse 17. I'm sorry. 1 Kings 18 and verse 17. 1 Kings 18 and verse 17. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, Art thou he that troubleth Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of Yahuwah, and thou hast followed Baalim. So he's talking now, Elijah is telling him that you have troubled Israel by causing them to follow another God. All right, he's followed Baalim. That means all the little worships that deal with that pagan practice or that unrighteous religion that they had at the time. And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of Yahuwah, and thou hast followed Baalim. Now therefore sin, and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. And Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel, and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions? So once all the children of Israel was gathered, what Elijah did is ask them, how long will ye all be caught between worshiping the Most High and worshiping Baalim? Okay, that's what he means by two opinions, being caught between two opinions. All right. If Yahuwah Elohim, if Yahuwah be Elohim, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answer him not a word. Now watch this test that he put the prophets of Baal through. It's 450 prophets of Baal. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of Yahuwah, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of Yahuwah. And the Elohim that answered by fire, and the El that answered by fire, let him be El. And all the people answered and said, It is well spoken. So this is a test he about to put the prophets through now. All right, verse 25. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, Choose you 1 bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. So they're now going through the test and trying to call on Baal to get him to answer, and to get him to kindle a fire under the wood that they created, and to burn this sacrifice. All right? So remember, this is a test, because now what this test is to show that there's no other God but Yah. All right? So this test is supposed to show that Yah can actually create the fire that they seeking to create, and not Baal. Y'all understand that? Mm-hmm. Right? So, because they're a bunch of idolaters, right? They are breaking this law right here. These two, which is idolatry. All right? Let's see. Let's go back into it. And it says, and he said, do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And the water ran round about the altar. And he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass, the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that Elijah the prophet came near and said, wait, I think I might have skipped down. Where was we at? We was in
Verse 26.
Verse 26, sorry about that. And so we in verse 26. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, Cry aloud, for he is a god. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleeps and must be awakened. So he's making fun of their God, because their God is false. All right? Because their God is not responding. Verse 28, and they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancelets. So they was cutting themselves with knives. Okay?
Why were they doing that?
Because their God wasn't responding. So they thought that by them cutting themselves, that they can get their God to respond. Right? Right. Well, no, it just said that they was cutting themselves. It ain't say nothing about they offering blood to this God, but it's just they was cutting themselves. That's it. It didn't really say that. But and the blood gushed out upon them. So their blood gushed out upon them. Right? Verse 29. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of Yahuwah that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of Yahuwah came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahuwah. And he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill 4 barrels with water, and pour on the burnt sacrifice, and on the wood. Verse 34, and he said, Do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, Do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And the water ran round about the altar. And he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known this day that thou art Elohim in Israel, and that I am thy servant, that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Yahuwah. Hear me, that this people may... Hey, listen, can y'all keep it down? Please keep it down, because I don't have a microphone. I can't talk over y'all. Verse 37. Hear me, O Yahuwah. Hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahuwah Elohim, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. So now Elijah is informing them, is praying to the Most High and saying, listen, I've been your servant this whole time. Please come through for me. So that he can get the people's hearts and minds to go back toward Yahuwah. Okay? Verse 38, Then the fire of Yahuwah fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood and the stones and the dust and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, Yahuwah, he is the God. Yahuwah, he is the God. So they started to worship Yahuwah after they saw the fire fall down. Okay? Because he's the true God. All right? So he showed at this point that Baal was not the God to follow. All right?
Did he forgive them?
The Most High, yeah. I mean, of course, because what happened was through the Most High allowing the fire to fall, their hearts and minds turned back to him because they saw this miracle.
Yeah, because he knew that he was telling them to do all those things, but they didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, so the prophets was misleading them. That's a good point. Yeah, the prophets was misleading them and telling them, and guiding them in the wrong direction, telling them that they should serve Baal. Because remember, they was prophets of Baal. That's a good point, yeah. So now let's see what happened to these prophets now that they've been false prophets. All right. Verse 39, it says, and when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, Yahuwah, he is Elohim. Yahuwah, he is Elohim. Verse 40, and Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal. Remember, it's 450 prophets of Baal. Take the prophets of Baal, and let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there. So Elijah brought them down and had them slain because they was false prophets. This was supposed to happen throughout all Israel. Anytime there was a false prophet and they was misleading the people, if their prophecy didn't come to pass, they were supposed to get put to death. All right? So, and that's what just happened. They was causing them to worship other gods. So not only was they giving false prophecies, but then they was also leading them to other gods as well. So they was causing the people to commit idolatry. All right? So who was Elijah?
He was, at first he was the northern king.
No. Who was Elijah?
That's King Ahab.
Who, yeah, that's King Ahab. Who was Elijah though?
The servant.
Right, he was the servant of the Most High. He was a servant. What did he do to turn the people's hearts and minds back to Yahuwah?
He made a test for the people that follow the false god.
Right. He tested them. What type of test was it?
Cut the little pieces. I put them on top of the wood.
Yeah. So he made them. Yeah. So the test was to cut the pieces of the animal and put it on top of the wood. And what was supposed to happen on top of the wood? Hold on, let somebody else answer.
But no fire?
Fire. So it was supposed to be a fire that was kindled. And if their God was true, then it would have kindled a fire. Right? So Baal was not true because he couldn't kindle the fire. Right? What did Yahuwah do? Let somebody else answer. What did Yahuwah do? He made the fire. He made the fire. And that was how they was able, this is how Elijah was able to build their faith again and return them back to the Most High, right? Through that miracle. All right, you have any questions?
What happened to King Ahab after?
After, let's see. I'm gonna skip down. Well, then we're gonna wrap it up with this. Let me see, so I can give you a quick answer. Here, go to slide down to 19 and verse 1. It says, now Ahab didn't die, but something is going to happen to where, Elijah is going to be hated. Because remember, Elijah is the only servant. He had to do the work, do this test to turn back the hearts and minds to the Most High. So we're going to go to 19 and 1. Say it again.
I'm here.
Yeah, 19 and 1. It says, and Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done. What Elijah do? He killed all the servants. Hold on. He killed all the prophets of Baal. And withal, how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, so let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not your life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. So Jezebel is threatening a lot to kill Elijah. Because he had the prophets of Baal killed, yeah. You see that? So now they're just actively looking for Elijah because they want to kill him because he had the prophets of Baal slain. Yeah. So Ahab is still going to be, we still got a little ways to go for Ahab's story, though. All right? All right, and that's it. We got our 3 hallelujahs. What you had? You had a question?
Yeah, I was trying to ask where y'all was at.
Oh, we was reading in 1 Kings 17, and we skipped down to 1 Kings 17, 18, and 19, showing how we showed Elijah, because he's the prophet around the time of King Baal, King AHAB. I'm sorry, not King Baal, and King AHAB, and we show his interaction between King AHAB. All right. So y'all gonna count?
Yeah.
All right. So we got our 3 hallelujahs. Okay. On the count of 3.
1, 2, 3. Hallelujah!
Okay. One. All in one. All in one. You got 2 more. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Oh, we gotta tell we ain't saying hallelujah.
Yeah.
Ooh, one say we didn't say hallelujah.
All right. Let's make this last. Those was good. Let's make this last one the best one. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
No. Let's try to trick you out your position. Don't listen to her. Y'all counting.
1, 2, 3.
Good job, y'all. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right. Good job. All right. Shabbat shalom. So again, sorry for starting late. We had some technical difficulties, but we're going to soon be starting with praise and worship, followed by today's main lesson. All right. Shabbat shalom.